Very good afternoon to you here on Youth Empowerment Television Show, your most authoritative youth analysis program. And I'm so excited to be here with you today. We apologize for the late start of the program. Of course, you know, dealing with machines and all of that, we have to be expectant of all of these things. My guest, a regular person on the show, we miss him so much, but he's back, going to share a very, very deep, intellectual discussion on a very important topic we all get confused about. So today I'm not even going to waste my time. I just want to quickly let you know that we'll be going into the discussion of understanding the essence and values of African marriage. It's going to be a series. We are starting with the first one, but before that, let me educate you just about a minute on what we started yesterday as a series. And today we are quickly looking at this is what you must know. Just a minute segment. You will find on your screen a very important information we want to share with you about one of our outstanding African leaders. And this is what we want to share with you. He's no other person than Nelson Rolihlahla Mandela, who was the South African anti-apartheid revolutionary, statesman, philanthropist who served as president of South Africa from 1994 to 1999. He was the country's first black head of state and first elected in a fully representative democratic election. And so I don't know if you can see on your screen at the moment, we'll just be displaying it for you at the moment. Nelson Mandela is the African hero we are celebrating today. Yesterday, we informed all of you through our "This Is What You Must Know" segment on Youth Empowerment Television Show that Robert Mugabe is the most educated president the world has ever had. Even after his death, no president have acquired 11 undergraduate degree, 7 master's degree, about 10 honorary doctorate degrees and all of that. As part of his education, we also got to be informed that he also had Ghana Achimota College as part of the schools he attended. You can find it on your screens. Nelson Mandela's information we want to share with you. This is what you must know as a young person about the facts we are sharing on African Leader. Nelson Mandela was a South African anti-apartheid revolutionary statesman, philanthropist who served as president of South Africa from 1994 to 1999. Just one term. He was the country's first black head of state and the first elected in a fully representative democratic election. Now this ends the segment on This Is What You Must Know on Youth Empowerment Television Show. I'm going straight into the discussion. Mr. Ogo, you're welcome.
Good to see you.
Good to see you. So when we told some of our viewers on Facebook and the rest that we're going to be discussing understanding African marriages and how it works and all of that, one question that came to mind is, mostly in our African setting, you must first approach the woman's family. In Ghana, we say knocking, or you just let them know that this is the woman you want to marry and all of that. Yeah. Is that marriage and is dowry? How is the steps like?
Wow.
At what point do you know you are married?
I like that. Well, first, a very good afternoon to your cherished viewers.
Yeah.
And it's always an honor and a privilege to be here.
Yeah.
Now, the subject that you've begun is very, very interesting, and even the question that you've asked as well.
Yeah.
It's very interesting. The first thing I'd like to say is that you see, quite a number of times people even wonder why is it necessary to have a conversation like this.
Okay.
And even why it's necessary to address some of the issues that you've raised in this short conversation that we've already had. But the first thing that people need to know is that whether we realize it or not, spirituality is an integral part of culture.
Spirituality?
Yes, it's an integral part of culture. And with profound respect to everyone out there, it's something that religion might never be able to give to you.
Spirituality is part of our African culture.
Yes.
And religion cannot give the impact it gives.
No. And it's not just about the African culture. Whatever culture that you're talking about, spirituality is located in it.
Wow.
And that is why every time you treat culture wrongly, you misalign spirituality.
Wow. Okay.
And the moment spirituality is misaligned, there are so many problems that begin to come up.
Wow.
and happen to people. And it's not just peculiar to relationships or marriages. You know, every other aspect of our reality.
Yeah.
And once that begins, problems just continue to accumulate.
Yeah.
And things just continue to happen.
Yeah.
It gets to a point people are not even able to tell where their challenges began from. But it is because there's a misalignment. And if that error is not corrected, the problem continues from generation to generation.
Wow.
Yes. And so it's very, very important to pay attention to these things.
Yeah.
Now, you asked a very, very interesting question.
Yeah.
At what point would you know that you are married as an African?
Yes.
Okay. Now, and this is a lesson that, you know, we don't learn in schools. Before I say that as well, you will notice one thing, and that is one of the reasons we even began to look into this issue. In the diaspora,
Yeah.
whether you want to use Europe or the United States, or even look at both, you would notice that it is the African marriages or marriages involving Africans that don't last, that don't sustain.
It's true.
As long as
High rate of the divorce.
Yes. And domestic violence as well.
Why is it so?
Yes, because of this misalignment that we're talking about. Because some of the times you wonder, why is it not happening to Indians?
Yes, yes.
And the Chinese?
Yes.
And other people that find themselves, even the Italians. You know, why doesn't it happen to them? Because you would notice that whatever it is that they're doing, they still locate themselves in their culture. Wow. They locate themselves in their culture.
So is it that the African society or the African marriages do away with their culture and borrow other cultures, or they don't even want to align themselves with any specific cultural values?
Both. Okay, so they do away with their culture. Some of the times they are also victims, you know, because I mean, one of the things that you guys do on Pan-African TV is keep talking about, you know, how slavery and colonialism and even neo-colonialism has destroyed, you know, the African foundation.
Yes.
And we're still trying to locate ourselves. A lot of people think it's not important, but this thing is very, very important. Okay. So what does marriage mean in Africa?
Yes.
Or to an African? In the African society, marriage is not a union between two people that profess love to each other.
In the African society,
no.
Marriage is not two people who have found love and want to be together.
No.
In Africa, I mean, our culture, that is not what marriage means.
No, it's not.
So what is marriage? Co-parenting or what?
Marriage is a union between two families, and some of the times two communities.
Oh, really?
Yes. So it's not about the man and the woman. You see, in the US and in Europe, which is something that a lot of young Africans, you know, tend to do these days. They see each other, they fall in love, they stop by one marriage registry and wed. Then the next thing, they're sending you postcards to say they're married. Or they are just more interested in this very flamboyant ceremony, you know, where they show that, oh, we have arrived, and this is the gown I wore. Some of them even, you know, dress in some of the most expensive African, you know, outfits and accessories and all of that. But that is not what it's about. That's not what it's about. And so you cannot say that you have actually contracted marriage properly in Africa if your family is not involved.
Hey, so does it mean that if your family says, I don't agree for you to marry this person, and you go ahead without your family, as like you said, some white people in diaspora can just walk to a church court, and just, I mean, in Africa, if your family or the two families do not agree to come together from different communities and stuff, that is not marriage.
It's a misalignment, and it will have spiritual implications.
Spiritual?
Yes. You see, some of the times when we think about spirituality or spiritual implications, we think about the witch that is firing at you.
Yes. Or some ghosts in the community.
You know, that are punishing you. No, but there are just some things that challenge the atmosphere around you.
Okay.
And it makes it impossible or almost impossible for things to go right. And these are things that people do not pay attention to.
So are these not very primitive old-time beliefs on African marriage?
Culture is not primitive. Culture is never primitive.
That's technology, modernization.
They carry culture along.
Okay.
And they must carry culture along. You see, we all come from societies.
Yes.
Think about animals.
Yeah.
And plants. Okay? When you want to do budding, you know, when we did basic agriculture, you know, You cannot bud an orange with mango.
Yes.
But you can bud an orange with tangerine.
Yes.
Because they belong to the same family.
Yes, yes.
Then you come to the cat family, the horse family, the cow family, and all that. You know that even in the cat family, okay, they can crossbreed.
Yes.
And so now you have a lion sleeping with a tigress, or mating with a tiger sleeping. We try to leave that to human beings. So you have a lion mating a tigress to produce a liger, which is regarded as one of the biggest cats.
Yes.
And then you have a tiger mating with a lioness to produce a tigon.
Yeah.
Because it's possible, because they belong to the same family.
Yeah.
Some of these things happen even to humans. And that is why the family gets involved. Sometimes when the family tells you, we are not in agreement with this move you're making, it doesn't mean they will not support you, but they are making it very clear to you that you're treading on a path that is dangerous. And some of the times, the problem is that we don't even want to listen. We don't want to know why they are saying what they say. I can tell you for a fact, and this is based on research, okay? There are certain things that you and I eat that are not good for the white person.
Yes.
There are certain things the white person eats that are not good for us.
Yeah.
Okay? There are certain environments that we might not be able to survive in, per se. And it happens like that with everyone.
Yeah.
And then there are certain diseases that you are able to resist.
Yeah.
But there are certain diseases that other people might not be able to.
Yeah.
And so these are issues. That's why when you say, I'm in love, what many people do right now is that they first ask the girl, will you marry me?
Yes, yes, yes.
And then she says, yes.
Yes, I will.
I will. Before you go to tell your parents.
Yes.
Without realizing that you can tell your family, and your family will say, I don't think this is going to work.
Yeah.
You see? So it is important to follow the right process. And I'll give you some of the
process.
Yeah. Yes. So the first thing is you communicate. Share the information. I have seen someone and
before you propose to the girl.
It is strongly recommended that you do that.
Before you you ask the person, would you marry me? It's recommended to meet your family.
Yes.
And share the information about the girl.
Yes. Let them know that, okay.
What if they share hatred, or maybe they don't like the family, or
so in the process you will find out.
Okay.
That is why it's important to also ask questions.
Okay.
Some of the times we don't give them a chance to explain.
That's true.
We don't give them a chance to say, we just say it's my life.
Yes,
I've got the right. I didn't choose who you're gonna marry, so don't choose who I'm gonna marry. So I need to add this at this point. In the African society, your life is not your own. And so if you are an African and you are fond of saying it's my life, you belong to a society, you belong to a family, your life is not your own. And you know one very interesting thing? If anything happens to you and there are people depending on you, who do they revert to now?
It's true.
Your family.
Yes.
And so your family has a say.
You're not alone.
You're not alone. Your family has a say in whatever it is that you walk into and how you carry on with it. Especially because it is a union between families. Meaning that your blood and my blood will now become intertwined.
Yes.
We are now connected. Your issues are my issues. Your struggles are my struggles. Your challenges are my challenges. You know, your celebrations are my celebrations. So I need to have a say as to whether or not you fit into my life.
Wow.
And I fit into your life. So the first thing they begin to do is they do a background check. To know the kind of family you come from. To know the village that you come from. Okay? Are there things that you do that might be against what we do? And when we find ourselves in that kind of situation, how do we manage it? Okay? What kind of food do you eat? How do you approach issues of spirituality? Okay? Is there any genetic signature that people need to pay attention to concerning this particular family, this particular bloodline, and all of that? Those things are very, very important.
But if we keep doing this, then what happens to love? Love should conquer everything. When you love somebody, even if your blood group does not matter, whether you are sickle cell, and there's love, families do not agree, you should be able to let love rule. Is that not the case now?
Remember what I always tell you.
Yes.
Love is one of the most deceptive subjects on the face of the earth.
Deceptive.
Yes. You see, when we speak of love and these things that we talk about, we're talking about attraction. Feelings come and go.
Oh, you're right.
Feelings come and go. Okay? But you need to come to a point where you begin to think sincerely about what you're walking into, because if you are not paying attention to who fits into your life and who doesn't, you can, in the name of love and attraction, celebrate that marriage and still hit the rocks after a year.
Yes.
I mean, we've seen. I can tell you for a fact that most of the couples that are divorced today, it wasn't because they didn't love each other. It wasn't because they have stopped being attracted to each other, but they've come to a point where they understood that the sacrifice necessary to sustain this marriage is something they cannot give.
More than love.
Because love is not enough. And I keep saying it, love is not enough.
If you've just joined us, I'm having an exclusive interview with Mr. Ogo, and we are discussing the understanding, let me put it short, understanding African marriages, the steps, the benefits, I mean, all of those things that we're having a discussion on it at the moment. Those who have started sending your messages on Facebook, we appreciate it. We'll be reading it for you as the show goes on. If you're watching us in Ghana, just send your messages coming through on 0548503799, 0548503799. If you're watching us outside Ghana, big salute to all those watching us in Nigeria, in Gabon, in Sierra Leone, in Togo, in Ivory Coast, in US, in UK, in Italy, wherever you're watching us. At the country code is +233 then 548503799. You'll find it just beneath the screen, the lower third. You're going to find it there. I'm trying to read some few messages that we have here, but I'm sure if I start now, we are not going to be done. I'll allow Senior to continue.
Yes.
Are we not are we not disencouraging young people who are saying, forget family, I love you, let's go far away, like as we see in movies and all of that?
I like that.
Are you saying yeah, I mean but people are really depicting those new lifestyles now. People are living together as couple when they are not supposed to do, and family is against it. Are you saying that immediately you forgo the decision of your family to choose a partner, there's already doom on your marriage?
You will face challenges. You see, some of the times what we do, and now because we have social media, all right, what a lot of people do is give an outlook that shows that everything is all right.
Yes.
But sincerely, everything is not all right.
Yes.
Okay. So we just want to show that, okay, you thought I wasn't going to make it. I just want you to know that I'm making it.
Yes.
Okay. But at the end of the day, what does that change? It doesn't change the fact that you are still dealing with those challenges, going through those struggles and all of that. Okay. So when your parents, I need to mention this, when your parents or your family say, we don't agree with this choice that you've made and these are our reasons, that is also an opportunity for you to prove yourself. Because on the one hand, you need to be able to show that you know what you're getting into. And that is where young people also are not paying attention, okay, to some of those realities. You need to show that you understand what you're getting into and you're going to go the whole 9 yards.
Wow.
And then your family, because you see, that support invokes the blessing. They don't have to agree.
Hey, so okay. you are breaking relationships. So.
Yes, but this is the reality. You know what? Like I always tell you.
Ajua Bempoma on Facebook. She says that he's discouraging us.
No.
And she's laughing. I mean,
so I can tell you this, and ask the people that have plunged in and plunged out.
Yeah.
Why do you spend 30 to 50,000 Ghana cedis to perform a ceremony that will not last for more than 6 months?
You're speaking the truth.
It's a terrible investment. And then you look back and you're overwhelmed with the bitterness. Can you imagine do you know that there are a number of people that are in relationships that is not working, that is capable of killing them because of what they spent to get into it? So at the end of the day, wouldn't you rather do the right thing and invoke the right blessing on your relationship than just do something so quick? I mean, when are we going to stop having quick fixes? There's a professor, what's his name? I think it's Edwin Robinson, an African-American professor.
Yeah.
They went to a meeting, and he asked in that meeting, how many African-Americans, it was an African-American meeting, how many African-Americans here, or how many Africans can tell their lineage to maybe the 5th or 6th generation? I think it was just about 11 people that could do that. He did the same in a white class. Every single one of them
could trace
to
the 5th and 6th generation
and further.
So what is wrong with us as Africans?
The problem is some of these things. We're so engrossed in entertainment, in the joy of this is what we have achieved. This is what I've done. My boo and all of that.
My baby.
Your baby.
Sweetheart.
That you're not paying attention to the realities. Of what use is it that you are having a terrible marriage, but every 15th or 20th of March, you take beautiful pictures, and show off some photo shoots and all of that. They say, oh, our love will last forever.
Yeah.
You know that even while you're posting that picture, you were crying.
This tables you are shaking.
These are the realities.
Okay, but somebody would ask that, okay, you need a family's approval, or you need family to validate all of this so that it forms in line with the spirituality in our culture,
yes,
right?
So
who is the so who is the family? Is it when your mom and dad says it's okay, but your uncle and auntie says no, we have a challenge with this family? So who validates? Who is the family?
Your parents are very, very important.
Okay.
But you come to realize that depending on the culture right now, or when you're doing specifics, okay, in certain cultures, okay, if, like my daughter, I am the youngest of the men in my family, okay, there are certain things that I will not be able to conclude, even if it is my child's wedding, without consulting with my older brothers.
Even though it's a child?
Even though it's my child.
Okay.
I need to consult to my older brothers. Okay? Because we need to work together. Somebody is coming into the family. And it's going to be part of the family, especially if it is a woman that you're bringing in. Because when a woman comes into your family, she becomes a daughter of the house. You are an in-law of her house, but she's a daughter of the house. Okay, and when that happens, you need to handle and manage it properly, so that when you see, remember what I said, they don't necessarily have to agree, but you need their support and their blessing.
Yes.
And so they're saying to you, we're not comfortable with this move that you're making. Do you know that A, B, C, or D can happen? And when you say, yes, I understand. Do you know why they're asking you those questions?
No.
Because you're even accountable to them when you begin to have misunderstandings with your spouse.
Really?
Yes.
But marriage is private. I mean, this is us.
No, that's what the English say.
Oh, but we do white weddings. We borrow.
Yeah, that's why we're having the problems we're having.
Let me ask this question. So, are you saying that we going strict in accordance with our cultural values as Africans? Do you think white weddings are necessary?
Absolutely.
White weddings?
Yes, it's another man's culture.
White wedding?
Yes, it's another man's culture. You spend all that money and do all that ceremony, show off and all of that, but what value does it bring to your culture? Do you know there are so many people that have not consummated their relationships, their marriages because of that?
But if you don't do white wedding, how do you become a Mrs.? Some ladies want to borrow Mrs. Samufa Sapon, and without white wedding, how does my girl get that surname?
But who says that your culture cannot give it to you?
Really?
And you know, the laws of Ghana have become so beautiful that even after your traditional marriage, you can actually go to the marriage registry and
sign and gain the name
and have it sorted. So why do you have to spend money? And that is why, some of the times we need to share this information. The Ghanaian legal system, albeit, with all the challenges that it is having, is very progressive and more progressive than so many other African societies. And people should leverage on some of these opportunities.
So after your traditional marriage, you can get your marriage under the ordinance by just going to the court and without white wedding.
Without white wedding. So why do you have to do that? Why do you have to I
was inquiring for a friend and who wanted to do a marriage ceremony. In fact, both the lady's family is accepting the marriage. The guy's family is accepting is not accepting the marriage. They even do not want to see the woman at all during the relationship. In fact, they just met 3 months into the relationship and the man already wants to marry the woman. And the woman wants a white wedding, and per their estimation, as an event organizer, I was consulting for them. The marriage would cost, decor alone is about 30,000 Ghana cedi, and food is about 15,000 cedi in total, almost about 95,000 cedis. And I was telling him that, bro, I think this is expensive. Maybe you should consider another alternative. He says this is the happiest day of the woman's life. It comes just once. Why do you discourage such person who wants to make the woman's life once in a lifetime beautiful? Why is this not good?
Well, question is, why is it the happiest day of the woman's life?
A wedding is once.
Okay, so let us assume that is the happiest day of the woman's life.
Let us assume.
Yes, and you're spending 95,000 Ghana cedis on that day.
Yes.
How much have you spent on the marriage life?
The marriage life hasn't come yet.
But the marriage life begins on the day the wedding happens.
Wow.
How much investments have they made?
There will even be children.
And what is the guarantee that the relationship is going to sustain?
Oh, so immediately you marry, there's no guarantee of sustainability.
No, because the truth of the matter is that if you're investing 95,000 Ghana cedis in a wedding, but you've not even taken 1 hour to sit down and receive knowledge concerning what you're walking into, what is the guarantee that it's going to sustain? Because you don't even know what you're walking into.
Wow.
We are misplacing priorities, and it's all a function of the misalignment that we're talking about. And if we don't get it right, okay, there are so many things I'd like to say, but if we don't get it right, a lot of things,
you have the platform. Let's hear.
You see, these stages are so important. Okay, and I've heard some people say you're selling your daughter if you bring a very long list and all of that, but that is not the case. That is not the case. When the list is given to you, it is some of the times a function of the family that you're going into. It's also a function of a test. It's a test on you without even realizing it. Some of the times they give you things. I know a man, okay, they provided the list, brought this guy brought everything that they said, or that they had mentioned on the list. And so assume that there was 10,000 Ghana cedis on the tray. The father of the girl just gets there, smiles, and just takes out 50 Ghana cedis and says, "That's all I want."
Even though he requested for the 10,000?
Yes.
Why do you test the man who's coming to marry your daughter?
So, number one, your emotional intelligence.
Okay.
You see, some of the times when the first thing people do when they see that list is that they get angry. Are you selling your daughter? We're not going to marry again. And then you walk away. It means you do not even have the fortitude to manage situations, and you're not willing to negotiate. Because in the African society, you can never finish marrying a woman.
I'm confused.
You can never finish marrying a woman.
Okay,
that is our standard.
Meaning it's for better, for worse.
Not just for better.
Or you be taking care of the family.
You can never. There is no amount of money that is enough when you're marrying a woman. There's no amount of money. There is no support. There is nothing that you can do that is enough. And so, as long as that relationship sustains, you're going to continue to show that love, to show that support, to continue to provide and all of that. And so they just want to be able to see that you can provide. You have the fortitude and the patience to address issues. It's also an indication that you have elders in your home. So let's say you're coming with me to go and pick a list, and so there's 5 of us. We go pick the list. We look at the list, and from there we start shouting and all of that. We have embarrassed the family that we come from.
Yeah, sure.
So you need to take it to the elders, and they'll sit down and look at it. They'll smile. They'll know what to do.
That list, do you negotiate? Can you say
yes? You can.
When you receive a list,
yes, you can.
You can say instead of where are you taking instead of your 2,000, please, can I give you 1,000?
So the thing is, the child is not being sold. And the essence of the negotiation, because you never finish marrying a woman. Okay?
Yeah.
The conversation is, let us sit down and talk about. We want this family. We are connected and all of that. So can we look at it?
Won't you be seen as a cheap man? You are coming to marry a woman.
No. The negotiation is important.
But this is the first time I'm hearing this.
Do you know that in certain situations, negotiation is an integral part of mediation? Your ability to speak to issues. The family is listening, because that is the family that their daughter is going into. They want to see the wisdom that you bring to the table, even concerning something as insignificant as a list. Before you even begin to talk about the woman and all of that, before tomorrow, a small misunderstanding, the food was cold, you're shouting everywhere. Can we sit down and talk about this? Sometimes it's not about how much you can afford. It's not about how much you are paying. It's about the fact that you're able to talk about what's on the list and what are you going to do about it. And so the parents also tell you, okay, let's do this, let's do this. Because everything you are bringing, okay, is an indication of what you value.
The negotiation?
Yes, at the point of the list.
No, Mr. Go, imagine I'm coming into your home to marry your daughter, and you give
account must balance.
you see, no negotiation.
No, account must balance. Now you say we'll sit down and look at it, but I must be satisfied with what you're bringing.
Exactly
to the
my
table.
point. So you, the man, coming to a home to marry, you receive a list, and they say the bride price or this is I'm going to take 1,000 Ghana cedi, or let's say 10,000 cedis or 1,000 cedis. Then I'm taking 8 cloth. I'm taking this Ecolag bag. I'm taking that. I look at the list and say I love your daughter. I'll be really scared to say I love your daughter because you already have a principle that love is not enough.
Why are you speaking for yourself? That's the problem. You see, these are the misalignments that we're talking about. They give you a list and you want to start speaking to the list. You dishonor your father's name.
So you must go home.
Go home. That's why you have elders in the home. So go home. Take the information.
So don't come and say our son doesn't have the money.
You are a mere emissary.
Wow. Immediately you receive it and you start negotiating.
Why? the marriage is a union between two families.
I see.
Not you. Take it home. Let your people sit down. Look at the list.
You're scaring me. So marriage is not as a joke as just two young people coming together.
No, that's a joke.
That's a whole family line.
That's a family. And so the family has got to be involved. The family has got to have a say. And when they look at it, because so many other people have married in the family, they know how it is done. Do you know that there are people in the family that are actually groomed to be negotiators even for marriages?
Wow.
And so they'll be invited. Then they will go to that conversation and they will sit down.
In Nigeria recently, one of their popular chief something, he married, and as part of the gift he received about 235 cows. I don't know if you saw it on the internet. 236 cows. And as people were saying that even in the northern part of Ghana, there was one Alhaji whose daughter got married, and he received almost about 200 and something cows as part of the request that
was it Sudan or Somalia? Ebola. Okay, 200 and something cows is nothing. There are people that give far more than that.
One woman.
For one woman, yes. That is how much the woman is worth to you. How much sacrifice are you willing to make to bring this woman into your family?
I am prepared to do anything for such a woman. But the point also is that then you've bought the woman.
No, you haven't.
Africa.
Do you buy your degree? Did you buy your degree?
No, you can't buy it.
But do you know, I mean, how many people actually spend on their marriages as much as they spend to get their degree?
You're right.
How important is it to you?
You're right.
If something is important to you, you work towards it. You give what it takes. And some of the times, all they need to do is see that zeal in you.
That's why people prefer the white marriage, because for the white people, all you need to do is to walk to if your family don't agree, you get you get a church, both of you exchange vows, bless it, go and sign, and you're gone.
And that is why most of their psychologists are now agree and are admitting to the fact that their families are dysfunctional. There are some things you can't throw away. And this is the reality. A lot of people might not like what I'm saying, but this is reality.
You can't be a Christian and go strictly traditional. Christianity is part of African setting now.
Well, it depends on what you mean by that. I don't even want to, I don't know. Going there is going to digress us because even the Christians that say that Christianity has got to be part of their marriage, they should name one Christian wedding that happened in the Bible. Oh, one, just one.
Christian wedding?
Yes.
Joseph and Mary didn't do wedding.
Bros, there's none. Okay, let me not say there's none. I haven't read the Bible from
cover to cover.
From cover to cover. I haven't. But anybody that says there is should let us know.
But I think in the Bible, no wedding. Traditional.
Everything was cultural.
In the Bible, everything was cultural.
Every marriage that was talked about in the Bible, to the best of my knowledge, was cultural. Marriage is a cultural thing. It has nothing to do with religion. Whether Christianity or Islam, it has nothing to do with religion. And these are the misalignments that we keep talking about.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And let me give you a teaser, because I know we're also running out of time. But let me give you a teaser. You see, as this thing continues, you come to a point where, like you were talking about, because of money and all of that, you have women now that give monies to the man that wants to marry them to come and pay their bride price.
I've seen that before.
There is nothing as erroneous as that.
That's correct. It's good to do that.
It's erroneous. It's I almost want to say it's evil.
Hold on. No, this is getting me really confused. Are you saying on record, on national television, that you are tempted to say it's evil for a man to accept a woman's money to marry her?
She married herself. You didn't marry her, she married herself.
She gave you the money.
But no, gave you the money saying, give you the money how? No.
This is serious.
No, you see, when you take money from a woman to marry her, technically she married herself. You haven't married her. And that is why some of the times you see she is the boss unto herself. And that is why some of the times you find them having misunderstandings and he's going, please don't forget I'm the man of the house. You're not the man of the house. You're not the man of the house. You borrowed money to marry your wife from your wife. She married herself.
No, but that would be the understanding because of her money. But maybe because she realized you are a young man coming up, and I'm privileged to have money or come from a family well-to-do. Do
you know that there is no family? I haven't. Of course, there are so many families that have their selfish agenda and all of that, who also need to be spoken to so that they can learn and understand the implications of what they are doing. But there is no family that will refuse that a couple would marry or be husband and wife merely because the money was not enough. It's an insult.
Some men do not really have money, but they want to marry their wives, and the women have it.
No, see, you don't have money, but you want to marry.
Yes.
When you say you don't have money, you don't have enough, you don't have all the money.
You're not working.
But that's why you have a family.
So you should borrow money from your family. That's right.
No, the family will support you.
Okay.
But if you must take money, and remember the concept of borrowing.
Yeah.
You will pay back a bit.
Yes.
So if you borrowed, pay back. If you borrowed, pay back. And if of all the people around you, your family, your friends, the people that are connected to you, the place where you work and all of that, you have exhausted all those opportunities, and the only person you can take the money from is the woman. It's a misalignment.
So I mean wrapping up, you are saying that we can actually, as a man, instead of taking money from your woman, you can actually go and take bank loan, other loans, friends loans, and marry.
Why would you want to take a loan to marry? That is even the question.
But somebody will marry her.
No, but why do you have to? Are you showing off?
No, she's about 29, 30. She's getting of age.
Are you showing off? Why do you have to take a loan to marry? That's the thing I'm asking. Why? Who are you trying to impress?
Wow.
Who are you trying to impress? That is why we need to pay attention to culture and the spirituality that, and the blessing that comes out of it. A marriage is not for you to impress people. Marriage is not for you to impress people. It's for you to be handed over to another person, and this family comes into union and receives the blessings from above. That is what it's about. So that you can continue the legacy, okay, that you were born into, and sustain the heritage that was handed over to you.
I'm getting scared. So you mean love is not even enough?
No. You see, the long and short of the matter is that whatever it is that you're doing, you must understand that there are implications. And it's not just about the implications on the surface. It's about what you end up doing and the kind of challenges you bring upon yourself. There are so many people that are going through struggles but do not even understand why they are struggling. There are so many families that have not done the needful even when marriage is concerned. And so if somebody is coming to marry your daughter, they are bringing the bride price. People continue to shout dowry, dowry, dowry. There are two different things. The bride price is different from dowry.
Dowry is different from bride price.
Completely.
What's dowry?
So the dowry is what the family of the girl gives to her when she's coming to your home after the marriage. It is what she has been blessed with. You see, when
her own family would have to give her the dowry.
The dowry is from her family to her, and that is what she's bringing to the table as far as the marriage is concerned.
That's money, or that's what?
It could be money, it could be property, it could be a business,
it could be plates, both.
Anything.
That's the dowry.
That's dowry.
Dowry is not what the man gives to the woman.
No.
So what we give to the woman is a bride price, and that's what her family demands.
Yes.
Oh, I see.
So after the marriage, the family releases her with a dowry. And that is why some of the times when men
throughout all African settings, the dowry is from the woman's side.
Yes, and it's not peculiar to Africa. In India, there's dowry. In the Middle East, there's dowry and all of that. There's dowry all over the place. Hagar, for those that go to church and read the Bible, Hagar was dowry unto Sarah. Hagar was Sarah's dowry. And
into the marriage.
Yes. So Hagar was part of the marriage, part of what Sarah's family. Yes. And the import was that in their culture, among all of the Chaldeans, the import was that when the woman of the house is unable to bear children, her dowry bears children for her.
The dowry will sleep with the husband to bear children.
But that's what Hagar did with Abraham.
Africans should practice this. Even this would have been fine.
Brother Lee.
Wow. So now we are getting to learn the difference. I mean, dowry is completely different from bride price. So it maybe in the Fanti or the Akan setting in Ghana, most women come to the marriage where their family give them plates, bowls, bags, all those things are dowry she's bringing to the marriage.
Dowry. So it is erroneous for any man that married his woman properly to ask her, what did you bring into the marriage?
Oh, that is her contribution.
That is where it begins.
Wow.
Because that contribution gives you the comfort and the springboard for you to continue whatever it is that you're doing.
Wow. Unfortunately, I tell myself this has been a very, very, very insightful conversation, and the good thing is we'll be doing this.
Yes.
We'll be doing this very, very regular. Let me read the messages so we can leave the studios. Ajo Bimpua say yes. Jade Obin says you are everywhere. That's good. Ajo Bimpua says he's discouraging us. Eboy Nathan says what's the topic under discussion? Gifty Ebuacha is watching. Eboy Nathan says I am making headway now per what I have listened so far. Ajo Bimpua question 1 says sometimes parents disagree because of somebody's tribe. What about that? Adjoa comes back and says, I agree with him. You can have a simple wedding and then a beautiful anniversary after you have built something together. When Nathan says, I love the negotiating part. He says that my dad told me that I should be ready to negotiate when we make ready. He says negotiation leads to respect, and the family would appreciate you speaking on issues. He says my dad keeps emphasizing on it. He says it leads to respect. He says, and everybody come back to say I've studied a lot on today's show. Let me quickly read this, then I leave the studio. We are doing the show with you. Hi Richmond, how are you doing? This is Reverend Dr. Nanea Owusu Prempe. Oh doc, wow. He said please ask lawyer, if the woman earns more than a man, can she officially lend money to the man, sign papers with a witness so the marriage can go on? This is especially in a situation when the biological clock is ticking. They don't want to have sex before marriage. They truly love each other, and families are content with their traditional program. So Doc would, Mr. Ogo would answer that very well. So this one says that you are very correct, my brother. You've said all about dowry and bride price. This one says I really enjoyed the discussion. I agree with you that traditional marriage is real marriage. The wedding is in the Bible. This one says that me, I won't even waste my time on wedding. This one says that I would be grateful if I can please get the number so I can contact him off air. Thank you. This is how is it possible for a man to marry another woman, American, when there has not been divorce between them, when they are legally married traditionally, and court marriage were a bit confused. This one says that the man is telling the gospel truth. People have telenovelized relationships, and they are all thinking about big weddings and nice photo shoot. This is Emmanuel Obing from Kakraba, and wow, I think I have to pause here. But Dr. Nanaya also says that biological clock of a woman is ticking. The woman has it, and she wants to learn the husband for him to be able to marry her. Briefly before we leave, what do you say about this?
Well, as long as you remember to take your money back, and as long as he remembers to pay you back, until that happens, you married yourself.
Okay, if the man agrees to pay back,
it's not about whether you agree. When you borrow, you have to pay back. It's not about whether you agree or not.
Yeah.
But you remember to pay back, and you remember to take your money back. If not, you married yourself. Because there are some people that will just say, lend me, but in their hearts, they know they will never pay you back. Okay? And so when you're doing that, you're also creating bras above your head. There's bras in the sky above your head. You will not get anything down. Because you even have practiced deceit in the process.
Wow, I have to leave that. Hi, there is this Yolanda from Zimbabwe. Hi, this is Yolanda watching us all the way from Zimbabwe.
Awesome.
He says that, I'm enjoying the show. Thumbs up to Mr. Lawyer over there. I personally come from a cultural home, and what he's saying is very true. If the man does not do what he's supposed to do, I will not give him the conjugal right he deserves. Okay, thank you for watching us in Zimbabwe. Thank you so much for this book. Mr. Ogo is also a very good book. He's an author. and this is Realities for an African Entrepreneur for Beginners, and he co-writes this particular book. We have to put your number. We have to put your number there because people are asking us for your number. So as they are zooming in this particular book that he has, this one, hello bro, I'm faculty. You are doing a great job. Keep it up. And this one also says that Ofori from New Tafo, I strongly disagree with your panelists because there's no single sacrifice which does not come out of love. Love is everything. Me, I love my job. I'll marry him if the family doesn't. Okay, it's your cup of tea. It's your cup of tea. Okay, so thank you guys so much for being a part of today's edition of Youth Empowerment Television Show. Each and every week, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Fridays, 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. every single day. Please take note, every day, with the exception of Mondays and Fridays. We are here Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays, 1 to 2 p.m. Next week, we'll do our best to do it twice with Mr. Ogo. He's very busy. But when are we going to have you? I'm sure Tuesday if you have the time next week. So next week Tuesday, next week Tuesday we'll be here to continue the discussion with you. Thank you for also joining us on this discussion. My name is Richmond Amofasapon. Let's take Mr. Ogo's number quickly. Or you want to give your Facebook or something? Your number?
Yes, so I'm on Facebook. Ogochukwuneke. You can send me a message. On Facebook.
Okay.
But you can also send me messages on WhatsApp.
On WhatsApp. Okay. Yes. The number is
0246.
So if you are outside Ghana, add the country code. Look for Ghana's country code. It's 00233 or +233. Yeah. If you are in Ghana, this is also his number without the country code. Yeah. It's 0246
27 37 98. WhatsApp.
On WhatsApp only. Not WhatsApp call. WhatsApp test. I'm sure Tuesday my producer will make sure we have his Facebook handle also beneath his name and also his WhatsApp number so that we can save time. Thank you guys so much for being a part of Youth Empowerment Television Show. My name is Richmond Amofasapon. Go to Facebook and look for me as well. It's Richmond Amofasapon. Or Instagram is I am Richie, but I.am.RICHIE. If you say a prayer, say something for me. Thank you so much, Mr. Ogo. So we always do this for God and country. People have started calling you already. Bye bye. See you next week.